ownership is a really big one. Mass transit, job opportunities. I mean, these are the things that I'm just seeing on social media. These are the amount of videos that I've seen of college grads with 2 degrees that cannot find their space here. I know is very much a burdening issue that kids want to hear about. I mean, like, what in the world are we supposed to do with all of the loans and then the degrees that we get and then have to pay it off with what job? I think that that is so much.
And how do you go about engaging young people with those issues?
Well, then therein lies the question. Who is the trusted messenger? Is it us? Is it me? Is what I have to say on this one platform worth? Is it tangible enough for people to take an action with? Well, maybe for 5 people, but it might also, encourage another artist or another actor or another comedian or architect or visual artist or somebody along those lines to speak up and use their voice. And I think that ripple effect in general.
But that is what's good about this conference, right? Is
Absolutely.
You're getting a lot of different people to take their platforms, find commonalities, so you can also say, you don't have to, I recommend you come to startingpoint.com, but you don't have to. You can go to, there's a lot of places you can go. You can start with us or go somewhere else and find us. The point being is that you start somewhere and that you eventually engage.
Yeah, and Jordan, you mentioned a site called Jubilee on YouTube that does a lot of conversations in that score. But Mark, you have a special announcement for us, right? From your trusted messenger/partner.
Yeah, we brought a video from a good friend of ours who wanted to be here but couldn't. And so if you want to roll, Chris wanted to say a few words.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Evans, co-founder of the civic engagement platform, A Starting Point. Over 40 million members of Gen Z will be eligible to vote in this year's presidential election. That's including 8.3 million young Americans who reached voting age since the midterms. All of us at A Starting Point have made voter engagement a key part of our mission to ensure every voter has the resources to get started. With thousands of local, state, and federal races this year, we're excited that ASP is teaming up with Global Citizen to help more Americans make a voting plan. Whether this is your first time voting or you're a more established voter, visit A Starting Point to get informed, prepare for the elections, and register to vote.
So that's terrific. Always love hearing from Captain America. So Mark, we just talked about Starting Point partnering with Global Citizen. Give us some of the fun details.
Well, if you want to get informed and learn about these issues in a way that we think, I don't know if I can say sexy, but fun and a great way to start, go to startingpoint.com. If you want to learn how to register to vote or see if you are registered to vote, you can go to Headcount. And if you do both of those things, you can win 2 VIP tickets to the Global Citizens Festival in the fall, and you can follow them on X or Twitter, as it used to be known, formerly known as. And therefore register and go see that what will always be an incredible concert in the fall.
That's incredible. Thank you all so much for joining us and for all of your wisdom and for all that you do in this space. It's incredibly important. Lucille, Mark, Jordan, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Please take a moment to find your seats. Thank you. Please welcome CEO of Araya Media, journalist and author, Aisha Sasay.
Good morning, everyone. You can do better than that. Good morning. It is so good to see all of you here, so bright and early. Thank you for being with us. I am thrilled to be leading this conversation, such an important one. A stain on our collective conscience. That is just one description of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. 3 months of horror that resulted in the slaughter of over 1 million ethnic Tutsi. All of it occurring under the gaze of the international community, which largely watched and did nothing as the massacre unfolded. Today, Rwanda is largely recognized as a country on the rise, and the evolution can largely be credited to unity, reconciliation, the resilience of Rwandans themselves, and to decisive leadership. The path of Rwanda's President Paul Kagame can be traced back to the atrocities of 1994. As head of the Rwandan Patriotic Front, he helped end the massacre of so many of his countrymen and has since stewarded his country towards prosperity. 30 years have gone by. 30 years on from those dark days, what does he see as the bright lights for his country and the continent as a whole? I'm pleased to say he joins me now via WebEx to discuss. Everybody, please welcome His Excellency, the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Mr. President, welcome. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Aisha, how are you doing?
I've been very, very well. Thank you for asking. Last month, you participated in Kubuka 30, which was the beginning of 100 days of remembrance of and ceremonies marking the genocide. The ceremonies were attended by a number of dignitaries, including former President Bill Clinton and the former President of France, Nicolas Sarkozy. All of them were there, and they have acknowledged that they failed Rwanda and failed to stop the genocide. Talk to us about this moment, this painful chapter in Rwanda's history. What are your reflections on that moment? And crucially, how it was viewed then versus now?
Well, thank you, Aisha. I'm very happy to be with you. Global Citizen is a very good partner to Rwanda and Africa. April 7th marked the 30th commemoration of the genocide, and the wounds are still very deep. Thank you for mentioning how the world came together with us on that day, and we are grateful to our friends and partners for their solidarity. Rwanda chose peace, unity, and reconciliation. Our tragic past does not define who we are as a people. Has the world learned any lessons? Unfortunately, I'm inclined to say no. To this day, perpetrators and their supporters are attempting to rewrite the facts about our history. With the social media, this trend is becoming even worse. On the global stage, we are seeing more and more radicalization and extremism. Many times, powerful countries deliberately choose to do nothing. Yet, there is a lot of lecturing about human rights and so many things. What happened to us can happen to anyone else. We shouldn't take for granted our responsibility to ensure never again is not an empty slogan. This is what I would wish to share with you on this particular question raised.
And we appreciate you saying those words and reminding everyone that the key here is to ensure that never again is not just an empty slogan. Over the 30 years that have gone by since the genocide, what would you say has been the single most important factor that has moved Rwanda from a state of crisis to this period of stability that the country is enjoying?
Well, first of all, we have to bear in mind what caused the genocide, and that it is the politics of division and tribalism. That's why we chose to stay together and put the interests of all Rwandans first. Unity is the best investment we have ever made. We also prioritized building strong institutions that are accountable to our people. For us, self-reliance is central to improving standards of living and delivering quality services for all Rwandans. Self-reliance is also about a general mindset of taking responsibility for our future. No one owes us a living. We have to fight for what is ours and put in the hard work. That is what makes our partnerships so productive and meaningful, both to ourselves and those we collaborate with. We are happy and even surprised by the results so far. So it is difficult from my perspective to know what we could have done better or differently. But our hope is that the leaders of tomorrow will do even more and better than us.
And I appreciate that moment of candor and talking about what you would have done differently, because, Mr. President, you and I both know that you are not without your critics. And so I must ask you, I'm going to push you on that.
Sure.
Is there anything you would have done differently on this path to stability?
Well, being where we are and seeing what we have achieved and what the country and the people are enjoying, I can only wait for other people to inform us through those criticisms what they thought people in our place could have done better. I have no quarrel with anybody criticizing us, but yeah, we are the ones trying to do our best for ourselves to overcome these extremely difficult circumstances.
Fair enough. Talk to me about the investments that you have made in Rwanda, in infrastructure, in technology, in bringing healthcare to all. Talk to me about why it has worked so well in Rwanda and how that has been the underpinning of your economic success. And can we replicate that across the continent?
Well, there is a correlation, a direct correlation, if you will, between human capital, economic growth, and stability. Our people come first. That is why we invest heavily in healthcare, education, and the basic infrastructure. When you overlook human capital, people begin to search for a better life elsewhere. That is the driver, by the way, of irregular migration. In the worst case scenario, you have coups and radicalization of young people. At the same time, we remain forward-looking by investing in technology and innovation. We have also put in place measures to attract the brightest African minds to come to Rwanda and test their digital solutions and startups and more.
A great deal has been done. I've seen it for myself. I was in Rwanda just before the pandemic, and it is truly remarkable to see the progress on the ground there. You continue to make strides. You're involved with Global Citizens Move Africa. That's the campaign to boost economic investment and job creation through a Pan-African music tour. We're seeing you on stage there, looking very cool, Mr. President, on stage, has to be said. Now, the idea here is that the creative economy has an estimated global value of 4.3 trillion. and is poised to play a big role in Africa's future development. Rwanda stepped up and was inaugural host of the first Move Africa event. Can you tell me why it was important to you to be part of this? Because I remember when I saw the announcement, I thought to myself, interesting, when I look at all the investments you've made in Rwanda, why did you choose to get involved with Move Africa?
Well, let me start by saying Rwanda was very privileged to host the first ever Move Africa concert last December. We look forward to our collaboration with Global Citizen over the next 4 years. Move Africa is important for 2 reasons. For one, it is already building the professional workforce needed to support major concert tours. The lasting impact will be seen through greater African contributions to the creative industry that is worth billions of dollars. And this can transform Africa's economy and also how the rest of the world's young people perceive Africa. Secondly, the purpose of Move Africa is to advance a common cause. Last year's focus was building strong healthcare systems with a focus on community health workers, which in Rwanda we take very seriously. Music brings people together. This togetherness in our complex world is a strength we must build on.
President Kagame, we so appreciate your time today and sharing your thoughts and reflections as Rwanda continues its path towards stability and growth. We thank you for your time today. Thank you, Mr. President. Everyone in the room, please show your appreciation for the President of Rwanda, Excellency Paul Kagame.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Thank you. And I just want to let everyone know that Mr. President will be staying with us to watch the next 2 panels. So again, we thank you for giving so much of your time to Global Citizen. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, everyone.
Welcome back to Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Tony, what do you think?
Quincy, it's 2 a.m. You have school tomorrow. Get some rest.
See you tomorrow, Saquon.
You got it, Kwesi.
His name is Quincy. The crowd goes wild.
Hey, Quincy.
Quincy! Your son's fantasies are going to destroy my house.